My favorite quote, just recently we went to Lobby Day in Albany. Some may not know what Lobby Day is. Lobby Day is where we have our lobbyists working, it's our management company, AMTA management company, in Albany, and they really keep the pulse, their fingers on the pulse of what's going on in Albany at all times. And anytime there's any kind of fluctuation or something's changing, they call us and they say, okay, this is what's going on, or we get a little email and we go, oh, that's interesting, that's not going to affect things. So it leaves the people like us who have practices and families and other things that keep us busy just like everybody else, free to do those things, and they really focus on what's going on. So it's really, to me, they've done a tremendous job in the very short time that they've been with us. And it gives me great confidence to know that, well, I don't have to know all the answers. I'm not a law expert. I'm not anything. There's no difference between me and you except that I've done this already and I'm trying to show you how you can. That's all. And there's lots of things I don't know. So what I charge you with is if you have a question that I can't answer, take my email address and we'll find out together. And we'll do the best we can with what we have. Anyway, at Lobby Day, we had a few minutes to walk around before our next meeting, and we sauntered into somebody's office, and they said, "Get Cutter in here," and they says, "You got to look at this." And it was on the wall, and it says, "It does not take a majority to prevail, but an irate, tireless minority keen to set brush fires in people's minds." And that's a quote from Samuel Adams. And I've actually made that my signature on my email address every time I send an email that goes out. And that's really how I feel about this. 15,000 people is not really a tremendous number when you look at the number of people in the state or how many people are in the city. It's kind of small. And Dale and I were on a conference call today talking about what's going on in the Senate, and oh my gosh, this is literally history in the making today or yesterday. There's so much turmoil there that they're literally talking about just shutting the doors and going home for the rest of the session, which is only 2 weeks left anyway. But because they don't want to mess with it, they don't know what to do. They're just people too. So what I say is that's a beautiful segue into what I have to propose to you, because this isn't about going to the legislation process. This is about going to your local laws and the local people and making them accountable and responsible. And what I will say is it's simple, but it's not easy, because everybody has their own agenda and everybody wants to go, and you have to come back so they go, oh, yeah, okay, and then you have to go, I know, and then you have to go, oh, I know. That's the kind of response that you have to get to them. The reason I swear that the chief of police in my town has me on speed dial. He just knows that whenever something happens, I'm going to call, "Hi, it's Amy," and they just go, "Hold on," It's like, because I'm annoying. So you have to be as annoying as you need to be to get them to pay attention. I'm so annoying that I stand there and I say, "I'm not going away until you deal with me." I have an 8-year-old. You want me to bring him too? I don't. And then they go, "Somebody deal with her and make her go away already." And that's the kind of fires that we need to set. So a local ordinance. Does anybody know what a local ordinance is? Does everybody know? Does anybody know? Some people don't. Okay. So a local ordinance is a law put forth by townships, cities, or counties. They are enforceable by the local law enforcement, meaning your police, the judges, etc. They can be more strict than the state laws, but they can't be less strict. And what I mean by that is, you can say the speed limit is 55 miles an hour on this road, but the local law ordinance can come in and say, no, the speed limit is going to be 35 here. The local law ordinance can't come in and say, no, it's going to be 75, but they can make it more strict. A local law ordinance in your town could require that you have your grass cut no higher than 2 inches. And if it's 4 inches, you can get cited. You can get a citation for that. And they can make the penalties as strict as they want or as lenient as they want. And it also gives them an opportunity to not enforce the penalties on a local level. No, I just said that. Okay. Oh, ignorance is not an excuse for not complying with a local ordinance. It's a law, just like as if it was written on a federal level. It's a law. And when you move into a place, you're supposed to go to the town and find out what their local law ordinances are. And as therapists, I know when I was in school, we were told, whenever you move, you need to go to the town and find out what's the deal. What can I do? What can I not do? What are the rules and regulations so that I'm in compliance? I know there's a place in Long Island where they require all of their licensed massage therapists to go to the sheriff's office, get fingerprinted and ID'd. Now, a lot of people think, wow, God, that's offensive. They make them get fingerprinted like criminals, and you know what? You could fingerprint me all day, because what that means is that I have a badge that's given by the sheriff, and that allows me to go into your home and give you a massage. And guess what? If I didn't have a license, I wouldn't go to the sheriff's office and say, could you fingerprint me, please? I know there was some concern with that, you know, thinking, oh, they're making me go like a criminal. Well, it was to protect them. And I'm certain that whoever set that ordinance in place was a massage therapist and worked really hard to get it passed, because it's not everywhere. So, that's what I said. Okay, so a nuisance abatement ordinance is very specific. That's what I'm here to talk to you tonight about. A nuisance abatement ordinance states that if there's a crime committed more than once in a given time period, it can be 2 or 3 times, that the building can be shut down for up to 1 full year. So what that does is take the onus off of the girls, so to speak, and the illegal practices that come through. When I went and spent 3.5 years trying to shut down 7 places that were in a 6-mile range of my house and my practice, all of them, I'm sad to say, remained open. The next day, the very next day, another girl was arrested in the same facility for illegal practice. Okay, so the legislation process, as we know it, is at a snail's pace. And while it's at a snail's pace, at least it's progress. At least there's somebody paying attention and there's somebody doing something. But you know what? It just takes too long for me. I want it done yesterday, and I want to move on. And that's how I am. And I think that a lot of therapists are very passionate. And obviously, I'm preaching to the choir, because if you didn't feel something, you wouldn't be here. But what would have happened if we had a local law, a nuisance abatement ordinance, is those girls would have been arrested, they would have been tried, and when they got anybody else back in to take their place, be it those girls or other replacement girls to come in, the second time they happen within a 6-month period or a year, whatever you want to make that time period, the second time it happened, then the landlord would have been notified that said, guess what? This has now happened twice on your property, and if it happens again, then we're going to shut down your building. So now the landlord is going to think twice about renting to somebody who they know is an illegally run spa. And they're going to think twice about, oh, you're a massage therapist? Let me check your credentials. I need to see the licenses of every single working therapist to make sure that this doesn't happen. Because guess what? Landlords make a lot of money on those buildings. And if you're talking about their wallets, that's when they come out in droves. That was the one time that we had lots and lots of people at the meeting, was when they started talking about, oh, we're going to tax you. All of a sudden, there were 50 people at the meeting. Nobody cares as much as when it hits your wallet personally. So